Done.
So, very good afternoon to all, and welcome all to today's session. I'm sure my voice is audible. Just type yes on the chat box. So, जो लोग ये सेशन अभी यूट्यूब से अटेंड कर रहे हैं, दे कैन टाइप इन द लाइव सेक्शन बॉक्स. वहाँ पे एक लाइव चैट का एक ऑप्शन है, सो दैट यू कैन क्लिक देयर एंड यू कैन टाइप yes that my voice is audible. So this session is mostly focused on the market outlook and the index strategy कि आने वाले coming week में that is on the Fin Nifty, Bank Nifty and Nifty 50 में क्या strategy हम लोग ले सकते हैं. What are the analysis that we can do in this and how it can be the beneficial for it trading in the index. Now talking about the today's market, then the Nifty 50 is down almost 1.57%, and it is trading around this 23,921. Now talking about the Bank Nifty, it is minus 1.05%, which is trading around this 542 points down, and it's trading around this 51,131. I'm having with me a research analyst, Mr. Karan Pai, and Ashish Shetty, who will going to talk about this market outlook and the index strategy. That what can be the view on the tomorrow expiry and what can be the market outlook. What are the sectors which are leading in this particular month and how we can trade much better in this sectors. So with this, I'll hand over my session to to our research analyst, and they can take it for them. Yeah. So all over to you.
थैंक यू रोहित. गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीवन. सो सबसे पहले तो मैं ये जानना चाहूँगा कि मेरा स्क्रीन विजिबल है एंड यू गाइस आर एबल टू हियर मी आउट प्रॉपर्ली. If you guys can hear me, just type in yes in the chat box and we can start the session for the day. Okay. So, starting off with what is happening globally. अगर हम लोग इसकी अगर बात करें, so just give me a second. या सो सबसे पहले हम लोग देखते हैं कि यू नो व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स दैट आर एक्चुअली ड्राइविंग द मार्केट एंड यू नो व्हाई हैज देयर बीन अ बिग फॉल. सो अगर फॉल की मैं बात करूं तो यस इट इज़ नॉट हिडन ट्रूथ की जो है एफ आई आई से जो है काफ़ी पुल आउट आ रहा है एंड अक्टूबर में काफ़ी एक साइजेबल अमाउंट गया है फ्रॉम हैज़ बिन पुल्ड आउट फ्रॉम द इंडियन मार्केट. सो लेट अस डू अ फैक्ट चेक क्विकली. सो अभी अगर आप देखोगे जो रिसेंट हाई था निफ्टी का दैट वाज अराउंड 26,277. So if we compare where we are with regards to that particular level, so from the high to today's lows, we were down by approximately 2,500 points. तकरीबन 9.5% जो है मार्केट फ्रॉम इट्स हाइज नीचे हैं. सो अभी विल क्विकली डू we'll see where the market is placed with regards to the moving averages. So moving averages यहाँ पर जब मैं बात करता हूँ I'm talking about exponential moving averages. And because the fall has been quite significant, I'm going to look at longer term moving averages. So I'll just add a few moving averages here. And सबसे पहले एक short term moving average is what I would like to add. So 5 हुआ. I'll keep it stock color. Okay, another one would be 20. So now bear in mind when you're looking at moving averages, एक चीज आपको जो है ध्यान में रखनी है, that is a particular moving average that is more than 0.5% or 1%. करेक्ट. तो तो उसका सिग्निफिकेंस ये पॉइंट पे कम हो जाता है. नाउ विल सी इन द चार्ट as we go ahead. So as we go in, change this to this. Okay, this to 100, change it to this. Okay, and then the final EMA that I'm looking at is 200. I'll make it black. All right. Change the color to yellow. ठीक है. सो अभी जो है आपके सामने 5 मूविंग एवरेजेस है. नाउ वन माइट आस्क कि हिस्टोरिकली आई हैव ऑलवेज प्रमोटेड कीपिंग थिंग्स वेरी सिंपल एंड नॉट गोइंग बियॉन्ड 3 मूविंग एवरेजेस. व्हाई एम आई लुकिंग एट 5 मूविंग एवरेजेस? सो अभी जो है मार्केट में काफी बड़ी फॉल आई है. सो जो शॉर्ट टर्म मूविंग एवरेजेस है वो तो आपको फॉलो करेंगे ही, बट बिकॉज द फॉल इज बिग यू हैव टू लुक एट द लॉन्गर टाइम फ्रेम मूविंग एवरेजेस. सो यहाँ पर अगर मैं लॉन्गर टाइम फ्रेम मतलब लॉन्गर पीरियोडिसिटी मूविंग एवरेजेस. सो यहाँ पर अगर मैं बात करूँ जो सबसे क्रूशियल है एट दिस पॉइंट वुड बी द 100 पीरियड मूविंग एवरेज, एक्सपोनेंशियल मूविंग एवरेज एंड द 200 पीरियड एक्सपोनेंशियल मूविंग एवरेज. Why? Because 100 अगर आप देखोगे over the past 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 8 सेशन में अगर आप देखोगे multiple attempts रहे हैं to break above the 100-day exponential moving average but it failed. एंड आज के दिन में इट ओपन ऑन अ फ्लैट नोट. अगर ओपनिंग अगर आप देखोगे 24315.75 है, राउंडेड ऑफ टू 8. एंड देन वहां से ड्यूरिंग गुड डे आई मीन नॉट अ गुड डे बट द लोवेस्ट पॉइंट अगर आप देखोगे तो इट वाज 23816. अगर मैं देखूं दैट पॉइंट ऑन, सो फ्रॉम द डेज हाई we were down approximately 500 points, approximately 500 points, slightly shy of 500 points, but nonetheless एक 500 points का from the days high to where we are right now हम लोग को एक fall, I mean the days low 500 points का fall दिखाई दिया था. वहां से we have been picking up quite a bit. So lows अगर आप देखोगे, this is nifty spot by the way, so 23816 was the low, and right now we are trading somewhere around 23926. सो मार्केट आपको ये बोल रहा है कि समवेयर अराउंड द 23,800 जोन देयर इज अ सपोर्ट. नाउ व्हाट इज दैट सपोर्ट? सो दिस इज व्हेन वी इंट्रोड्यूस यू टू इचिमोku. Now, in this webinar, we are not going to talk about what Ichimoku exactly is or how it works, but there is an important thing at this particular level जो आपको दिखाना जरूरी है, and that also is on sorry, yeah, that also is a formation on the weekly time frame. Yeah. सो अगर आप सिंपल लाइंस देखोगे कि व्हाट आर द लाइंस, देन यू हैव द बेस लाइन, यू हैव लैगिंग स्पैन, लीडिंग स्पैन. अब ये क्या है, डोंट गेट टू मच इनटू इट, बट ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम यू वुड हैव सीन दैट दिस पर्टिकुलर लाइन was flat. सो इचिमोकू का ये है कि when this particular line, now I'm not naming the line because वो थोड़ा confusing हो जाएगा. सो एक वो जो नीचे का ये which I am assuming is reddish जो है, वो कलर जो है, जब भी वो फ्लैट हो जाता है तो prices normally, I mean it acts as a magnet for the prices, correct? And historically if you have seen, now if I were to hide all other lines and just plot that particular line, okay, the baseline, I'll also remove the cloud. Yeah. सो इचिमोकू में फिलहाल मैंने सिर्फ बेसलाइन फॉर दोज ऑफ यू हु आर न्यू टू इचिमोकू, ये just call it a line, and this is normally called a baseline. So whenever there is a strong bullish move, correct, the prices don't tend to break below this line. And आज का डाउन अगर आप देखोगे तो आई मीन आज का जो फॉल आप देखोगे, इट हैज halted somewhere around the baseline. I'll just ask my colleague Ashish to throw more light onto it.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining in. So, as Karan was mentioning Ichimoku, this might look very complex to you, but it is one of the most beautiful trend following systems which takes into account trend, momentum, and all that stuff. We would be covering this on the technical analysis part at a later stage. But just giving you an idea, since the okay, yeah, guys, bear with me for a minute. Cloud color name. Right, so Ichimoku basically, as we said, is a trend following system, okay, and was developed way back in 1930s by Goichi Hosoda. And it has still been it's very popular on the eastern side, and it's more of a Japanese technique. And these lines that you see are there are various calculations. We'll not get into it. So if you see the cloud currently, as per se, is looking bullish. Right, I'll just mark it to you so that you'll understand that the green color is bullish, and so let's increase the percentage by and the red color is bearish. So we call this as the future cloud, showing what is the probability of the future movement. And if you see, the future cloud is currently green, which is giving that it's not all bad as of now. The market still has some positive bias. Okay, it's been falling. It's falling through the conversion line. It's come to the baseline, simple English terms. But as you see, the baseline is flat, and it's a calculation over 26 periods, and so that could tend to be flat more. I'm not getting into the calculations. And as Karan rightly mentioned, it has taken a support at the weekly baseline. At the same time, if you see, if you go back a few candles out here, right, this where the pointer is, there is a strong buying tail as well. So you never know, the market might reverse, or it could probably take a support out here at 23,800 levels, right? The other thing which Karan said, as you were showing, I'll just hide the Ichimoku, and as you were saying, on the daily basis, if I get into it, even the 200-day moving average, which is like as we call the biggest barrier in markets, is we consider the 200-day moving average, right? That also is close to about the 23,500 level. That is again, which is very much. So I'll just give me a moment. I'll just mark it here so that it will be much easier to understand. So we are at, say, about what is it's 23,570, 502. Just a minute. So you also how there are important supports playing out right now. So this black line is what is representing the EMA 200 level currently. Now I'll get onto the Ichimoku and the weekly Ichimoku. So if you see very close proximity, okay, very close proximity between the weekly baseline and the 200-day EMA as of now, which can act as a strong support. Let's put in some Fibonacci and see where do we stand right now. So guys, if you see right now, the 24,300 and this level, the 23,700, 23,200 levels, they are playing a very important role, right? So it's, and as I said, the future cloud is also green. So all is not bad. Yeah, we could see a probably correction or a profit taking, or the uncertainty with regards to US elections, two major events coming up, the Fed rates and all. That's the uncertainty, could be profit booking or people just playing a safe bet and getting out of the market and staying in crash. As of now, what we see is the overall trend is still slightly on the upside. Our bias would be on the upside, but the current movement is it's going down. We expect the support to come in at the levels that we mentioned. That's around 23,700, 23,500 levels. And post that, what movement happens if there is a close very strong beyond these levels, we could say there could be a further downfall. But if we see some kind of support coming in, we could expect a relief rally coming in, which currently we would have to wait and watch it out and see what is the situation right now, right?
Yeah.
Correct?
सो जैसे आशीष ने बहुत राइटली पॉइंट आउट किया है कि सपोर्ट प्रॉक्सिमिटीज जो है ना काफी क्लोज बाय आ चुके हैं. सो समथिंग लाइक 23,800, 23,700 एंड नीचे के साइड में अगर आप देखोगे 200 डे एक्सपोनेंशियल मूविंग एवरेज जो है around 23,500. So somewhere between 23,700, 23,500 is where we might see the supports coming in. Now, this was with regards to the Nifty. Bear in mind ki, you should be ready for, another fall if, any of these levels are breached. अभी के हिसाब से जो चार्ट हम लोग को बता रहा है, that is what we are trying to tell you. Now, one might ask you what is the reason for such fall. Then जैसे मैंने बोला कि FIIs का pull out जो है काफी रहा है, and this has mainly to do with what China is doing with regards to boosting their economy. जो stimulus packages उन लोग declare कर रहे हैं. So that is making the Chinese equities a that bit more value when compared to the Indian stock markets. अगर Indian stock markets का आप देखोगे, individual stocks का भी अगर आप देखोगे, the PE values they are expensive. कहीं ना कहीं ऐसे दिख रहा है कि एक एक्सपेंसिव है, एंड उसके सामने जब भी हम लोग कंपेयर कर रहे थे चाइनीज मार्केट्स, because they have not performed so long for so long, probably covid ke baad se this is the first time that the Chinese markets are performing after all their covid zero policy. The economy is opening up, the PMI data is showing an expansion. So all in all एक पॉजिटिविटी कहीं ना कहीं हम लोग को चाइनीज मार्केट्स में दिखाई दे रही है, जिसके वजह से देयर इज अ पुल आउट फ्रॉम emerging markets like India, and probably money is going towards the Chinese markets. Now, that said, we also have the US elections. Now, elections ये इतने crucial क्यों है? Because जो दोनों candidates हैं, as you guys might be tracking it, Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, both are quite neck to neck. Like it's literally quite close, and people are not able to take a gauge as who is going to have a leading victory, or क्या होने वाला है. So there is that uncertainty around that point also, which is kind of creating an anxiety. And then we have the Fed policy. अभी फेड पॉलिसी की अगर आप बात करो तो प्रीवियस पॉलिसी में हम लोगों ने देखा था कि वी गॉट अ कट, बट द जनरल एक्सपेक्टेशन वाज कि एक और बिग साइज कट आएगा, बट एज डेटा केम इन एंड एज थिंग्स स्टार्टेड डेवलपिंग, ज़्यादा इकोनॉमिक पॉइंट्स आने लग गए, द प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ अ बिग साइज कट केम डाउन, द प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ अ पॉज एक्चुअली वेंट अप. बट एज ऑफ नाउ CME FedWatch टूल अगर आप देखोगे तो 99% ऑफ द ट्रेडर्स दे आर अज्यूमिंग अ 25 basis point cut in November, and 83% probability stands somewhere around 25 basis cut in the upcoming policy as well. So all in all, ये सारी चीजें जो है मार्केट को कहीं ना कहीं एक एंजाइटी दे रही है एट दिस पॉइंट, एंड देन द चाइनीज इक्विटीज बीइंग bit more cheaper, we are seeing some sort of FII pull out or capital flight.
Also, another interesting data point which we had put out a couple of weeks to 10 days back, that in the month upcoming to the elections, October, usually the market falls. Okay, that is because of the uncertainty with regards to who's the candidate going to be, who's going to be winning, and what are the policies going to be. And post the elections, that is in the month of November, the market usually rallies. This is there on our website, on our LinkedIn message, or Twitter as well. You could have a look at it. This is a study of data since 2000 onwards till December 2023, where it was noticed that in the run up to the elections, the market usually falls due to the uncertainties of who's going to be the candidate, what is going to be the next policies, and everything. And post elections, once the uncertainty is clear, the market digests the fact as to what is going to come in next and starts the movement accordingly. And that is a similar phenomenon that we are seeing right now. Okay, so as we said, net and net scenario is not as bad as it looks. Yes, currently it would not be advisable to be very aggressive. It would be more advisable to have a wait and watch stance, or protect your portfolio currently. As we mentioned, the 200-day moving average and the weekly Ichimoku baselines are coming in very close proximity between the 23,700 23,500 levels, which, as we said, because of multiple technical indicators coming at one single point and in close proximity, that could act as a very strong support to the market. Right, Karan?
Yeah. So ये हुई this was about the Nifty. Now we'll just take a look at what the Bank Nifty is doing. And for the day मुझे ये बताने की ज़रूरत नहीं है आपको कि the breadth broadly is bearish. अगर आप sectors भी देखोगे, so all जो 12 sectors हम लोग जो normally देखते हैं, the last I checked all 12 were in the negative territory. Breadth जो था, that was broadly towards the bears, 46 declines, and as of now it is 45 declines. And अगर आप देखोगे selling जो आया था, that was top जो losers थे, they were something like टू व्हीलर स्टॉक्स जो थे, ऑटोमोबाइल सॉरी हीरो मोटोकॉप हुआ, बजाज ऑटो हुआ, एंड फ्यू एनर्जी स्टॉक्स एज वेल, समथिंग लाइक BPCL, दे वर ऑल डाउन. एंड इफ यू सी the intensity of the fall, something like Hero MotoCorp is down more than 5%, Bajaj Auto is down slightly above 5%, something like BPCL is down more, approximately 4%. So जो हेवी वेट्स हैं या जो बड़े स्टॉक्स हैं जो मार्केट को मूव करते हैं, जब वो गिरते हैं, इंडेक्स obviously has a tendency to fall. And then if you look at what are the stocks that are actually outperforming the Nifty, so something like Tech M, Cipla, Mahindra and Mahindra is doing well. So only five stocks. Nonetheless, there is some sort of support coming from these stocks. And Abhi, one more thing that I want to show about Nifty is once we spoke about those levels, if you look at what the index is doing right now, it has pulled up, not much, but certainly एक थोड़ा एक pullback हम लोग को दिखाई दिया है. Now this might be more clear if you go on to the intraday charts. Now lows अगर आप देखोगे of तकरीबन जो 23,800 के आसपास था वहां से we pulled up approximately 150 points. So 23,954 is where we saw the index go in the past 1 hour. So तकरीबन 100 points का up move जो है यहाँ पर दिखाई दिया था. Not exactly 100 points, but slightly shy of 100 points. And so price action now becomes very crucial. Why? Because as the technical indicators are telling, 23,800 is a key level. And once it manages to, if it does breach below 23,800, जो आगे का 200 day EMA जो हम लोगों ने देखा था, that becomes the next possible level. But if at all the market was to correct, then the big figure of around 24,000, 24,100 का जो zone है वो for the day एक resistance बनते हुए दिखाई देगा. अभी फिलहाल I am not telling that there is a chance of the index going up. We are just pointing out the levels as to what could act as a possible resistance, what could act as a possible support. Now, coming on to the bank Nifty, I'll quickly run you through, what the indices are doing now. This is an internal software that we have, and if you see something like energy, media, real estate, that is where we have seen a massive drop. So something like energy is down 2.9%. Now we have a bit of delayed data, but the difference in the data is not going to be that massive. But energy, अगर आप देखोगे 2.9% down है. Something like real estate is down by approximately 2.8%. Media stocks are down. So all in all, 12 sectors are lagging at this point, and मतलब 12 के 12 sectors जो है they are trading in the negative territory. Nifty stocks में we have already seen what is the kind of price action there. अगर निफ्टी की अगर बैंक निफ्टी की अगर हम लोग बात करें, so just from the price action point of view, if you look at the price action of the past couple of days, Bank Nifty is doing slightly better. Now, I'm not telling that it is outperforming the benchmark. It is at par with what the Nifty is doing. But if you see the price action I'll just show both the charts side by side. One would be Nifty. Yeah, and I'll clear up the chart. So yeah, this is the price action that you have seen in Nifty, the one to your left, and the one to the right is Bank Nifty.
So Karan, if you can just explain the theory of the price action, because price action is a very broad concept, and एक price action होता क्या है and क्यों जरूरी होता है, if you can just explain in a short way.
Yeah, so price action अगर मैं बोलूँ रोहित, it is simply understanding what the market participants are thinking at a particular price. ठीक है, for example around 24,500 we saw the index getting rejected. वो हम लोगों ने बाद में देखा कि it was 100 exponential moving average. बाद में as in while we started the webinar, that is when we saw that it was a 100-day exponential moving average. But वो level पर there was a bit of rejection. So the market was not comfortable with the market going up. The traders were not comfortable with the Nifty going above 24,500. So that becomes easily price action is a bit crucial because it tells you what the participants are thinking at a price.
Guys, on the similar levels, I will give you an idea of everyone a few weeks back might have heard of heads and shoulders pattern happening on Nifty, heads and shoulders pattern happening on Nifty. I'll give you an idea and understanding of what exactly is the heads and shoulders pattern. Okay, just let me draw something. This is called as a neckline. Now, what do you see here? I'll give you an idea. Okay, Karan, where is the drawing tool? Just bear with me a minute, guys. Bear with me for a minute. So, see this. Let me stick this. The Nifty rallied from here. Something went wrong and the confidence was lost. It was pushed down, right? From here again, some buyers came in. We do not want to get into the reasons of what happened, where it happened, something. They came in here. Okay. This is where the crucial point starts. It broke the previous high. Again, there was no confidence and the price was pushed down. One, buyers coming in again. the market goes up, there is heavy selling coming here, market drops and comes close to the previous buying level, right? So the buying confidence comes in again, people come in again, but it does not sustain. It does not break the previous side, does not sustain, and this low is broken, right? This what we all were talking about. Okay, I will. So this is, if you, I'll just zoom it. If you see this, doesn't this look like a heads and the shoulders pattern? Right, so this is what price action is. Market went up, confidence loss came down. Again, somebody came with the buying, the market went up, pushed down again. Attempt from the buyers to push the market up, but not confident about. Sellers have a heavy hand, and they broke to the previous resistance level. So this pure, no indicators, nothing, purely showing how the market is moving with regards to the candlestick patterns being formed, or how the chart is being formed, and such things, right? So if we see here, if people who have attended our candlestick pattern lectures or sessions, if you see here, there is a doji patterning happening here. Where is the arrow? Okay. See this, so selling doji happening here, right? This itself tells you there is a huge selling coming in, right, at this level. Once it's broken, there has been a free fall. So this is purely price action. So candlesticks as such, guys, what is the formation of candlesticks? Open, high, low, close. That is what everyone looks at. If you get into the depth of it, candlestick basically gives you the market psychology, and price action is nothing but study of this market psychology, and based on that you make your view. So when we tell, okay, beyond 23,500 the market will be a free fall, there could be support. So these are all a part of price action, because how do we judge it? We have seen that in the past, right? Different researchers, different authors have written books and studied the price action right from the time in the 1920s when it was just on a manual basis. Charts were hand drawn. Today we have computer systems drawing our charts. Charts were hand drawn. People have studied past history data, and they've seen that certain patterns, certain formations usually give rise to, usually, I'm telling you again, not every time, usually gives rise to similar reactions, right? And that is exactly what we are seeing here. Now, nothing to scare you all, but since we come into this, so this heads and shoulders pattern, what does it say? It says whatever is the distance between the neckline and the height, that is a similar distance that will be covered post the break, right? So what is the distance? So we have the distance here. Here it is what is broken. And again, if you see, comes close to the proximity of the 200 MA, and I'll just put in the weekly chart here. So it's a bit slow to load up. If you see, again, if you see here, Ichimoku support, this. So all these, so this is the target point. This not necessarily that it would be between 80 to 100% of the previous move. So if I take it 80, it comes close to somewhere. So it was what, it is what, about 1500 points. 80% of that would be about 1200 points. If I get this back to 1200 points, you see how well this works out. Again, 23,500 comes to those 1200, 80% of that move. So this is what price action is all about. All right, based on your past data, based on the way the price has moved in the past and reacted to certain patterns, it could tend to react a similar manner in the future. That, guys, is purely price action. Indicators, everything aside, indicators are usually derived from price. They are a derivative of price, so slightly lagging usually. Price action is more forward looking based on the past data. And as we said, candlestick patterns and price action is purely market psychology. So Rohit, I think I've answered the question on price action.
Yes.
Karan, would you like to add anything?
No, जैसे I completely agree with Ashish कि जब भी supports and resistances की हम लोग बात करें, and if there is a cluster that is in formation कि आपके multiple parameters, multiple candle patterns, chart patterns, everything is pointing at one particular price. Okay, the probability of that level being held is actually much higher. So जैसे आशीष ने बोला कि there is 200 day EMA जो weekly इचिमोकू का जो बेस लाइन है वो एक पर्टिकुलर लेवल पे आ रहा है, एंड देन देयर इज दिस एचएनएस पैटर्न, हेड एंड शोल्डर पैटर्न. अब ये हेड एंड शोल्डर इट्स अ क्लासिक पैटर्न. सो यहाँ पर अगर आप देखोगे, इसकी अगर आपको साइकोलॉजी समझनी है, सो यहाँ पर आप देख लीजिए कि द मार्केट में थोड़ा सेलिंग आया ऑन 2 सितंबर. वहां से इट वेंट डाउन एंड देन द मार्केट एक्चुअली सॉ बाइंग. वहां से मार्केट ऊपर गया एंड देन देयर वाज अ करेक्शन. सो पीपल हु मिस्ड बाइंग एट दिस पॉइंट probably entered again thinking that the old high would be recaptured, but वो नहीं हुआ. Market was uncomfortable when the index came to somewhere around 25,200, 25,300. and then there was a sell off. अभी यहाँ पर जहाँ पे the market was finding a support या something of that sort, वो level जब break होता है, then the selling is going to come in, because people who are long at this point thinking that it is going to test a new high, उन लोग के stop losses शायद trigger हो जाए, and then people who are actually waiting for a fresh entry might see a bearish setup and then they might enter and enter big time. So उसके वजह से जो है market I mean जो prices है वो उसको pull करेगा, काफी pull करेगा. So that is the psychology behind price action. So the thing that we wanted to tell you in today's webinar is that कि मार्केट भले ही गिर रहा हो, you should be aware of where the supports are, where the resistances are. And we are going to keep having webinars like this, wherein on Monday we'll try and explain to you what is happening, and take a follow up probably on Friday and Thursday and Friday को of course जैसे हमारे ऑप्शंस के होते हैं वो होगा. So what we are trying to do is give you dots, and all you have to do is connect those dots and make take a better informed decision. So that is where we are heading. Over to you, Rohit.
I think, like Karan, you have explained it very beautifully that how the market is reacting right now and what can be the strategy for this particular week. And there was a lot many demand of the people like means to give the webinar on the commodities market. So please note that we are having the commodities market webinar that is planned tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. So you can go into this Access Direct, means Access Direct website and click on the learn section, and from their learn section you can see all the upcoming webinars. So tomorrow we are having the webinars on the commodities market. Do join us for this. So with this, I'd like to thank Karan and Ashish Shetty for giving such a great insight about the about this week expiry, and thank you all for attending today's session. Thank you so much.